My name is Jessica Mazur. I've been in the field of family law for about 13 years. I handle all kinds of cases, from multi-million-dollar estates to, two employed people going through bankruptcy. So I handle the entire spectrum. What makes me a great collaborative attorney is I have a great ability to dumb down the law and make it available to the average Joe to understand what's going to be going on, what their exposure is, what they need to be thinking about as far as the big picture. That to me is my strength, the ability to relate to everyone. Sometimes, lawyers come in and they use all these big words and legalese, and you're like, what the heck, what does equitable distribution mean, And when you're in such an emotionally difficult time period, when you're going through a divorce, to understand and grasp these concepts can sometimes be impossible. I always, with my clients, do a cost-benefit analysis. Is it worth it to spend the money to fight? If you're going to spend $50,000 in legal fees to get back $10,000, it makes no sense. I feel better, I can sleep at night when I know that I've done right by my client. And if I'm racking up the fees, churning up a bill unnecessarily, I couldn't sleep at night. I would hate my job. So, having been through the divorce process myself, I can appreciate what that person is going through, and I can help them go through it so much faster and easier. It just doesn't seem right to profit off of someone's misery. Save your money for your children's college education. It's just not worth it to fight on such an extended basis. The cool part about collaborative law is you don't have to spend all day in a courthouse. You don't have to pay your lawyer all day to just sit around to get to the emotional spot where everybody's ready to really talk about the meat of how a case should be settled. I've had a lot of clients come up to me and say, when we ultimately, if it's a litigated case, when we ultimately get to the point that we're sitting in a four-way setting, meaning wife has her lawyer, husband has his lawyer, and we're all sitting in a room talking about the divorce. And I've had clients say to me, why didn't we do this in the beginning? And for some reasons, it's because they weren't ready to be all in the same room together. Too much anger, maybe somebody cheated, just like it was too intense. But a lot of times, it's because if you're going through all these mandatory court steps or court processes and appearances, you don't get to that time where you're sitting in a four-way until you're at least maybe like 9 months into the litigation. So why not do it sooner? In a court case, a litigated case, the court rules apply best practices, which requires a divorce to be wrapped up within 1 year of the filing of the divorce complaint. So when that case starts hitting day 300, that judge starts putting major pressure on the attorneys and therefore the parties to settle the case. And that's when those last minute, courthouse negotiations, court step negotiations are going on. And that's not the way you want to be making the major life decisions. How are you going to spend the holidays with your kids? How are you going to divide your retirement? Where you're going to live? That's not something I would feel comfortable having to decide in 5 minutes as I'm standing in a hallway of a courthouse with strangers all around me. I don't think I'd say most people probably can't think clearly if they're going through a divorce and they see their spouse across the room. That's a lot of emotion. Never mind making life-changing decisions at the same time, So with collaborative divorce, you've got the time. I'm not saying you have all the time in the world, no, but you're in a more comfortable setting. You don't have a judge yelling at you to come in, settle your case. What judges will do is when your case ages in the court system, they will call you in every day for what's called an intensive settlement conference, and they'll make everybody sit in a room all day. From 9 to 4:30 or 8:30 to 4:30. You can get an hour off for lunch. but they will make you sit there all day. Judge has no idea what you're doing. You guys could be playing cards in a room, but it's the judge's requirement that you come in and try to settle your case. And maybe they'll give you 3-4 days to do that. And they will require that you come in for 3-4 days. And then maybe they'll give you a trial date. And so it's just like, it's like a battle of the wills. Who's going to break first, you know? And ultimately somebody breaks, you know, because I can't do this. I can't take this many days off from work. Who's going to watch the kids? It's insane. It's a broken system. It's not meant to work that way. And that's what I think what's great about collaborative law is it has fixed the system. I feel successful in a case when I know that years later, mom and dad will be able to be at daughter's wedding, you know, and they can be there even with their significant others, and everybody's happy and everybody's at the same table. Or even the grandparents being able to spend Christmas together and everybody can stop in and exchange presents. It's so much better for everybody involved. I'm Jessica Mazur. Please call me to help you close a chapter in your life and move on from your divorce. My number is 732-545-4717.